What's up, guys? It's Drakhl. I got great news for you. I decided to open up the server for stress testing and beta testing and all that sort of stuff. So in the video description you'll find the IP and port of the server, but you will not be able to get on until you send me a message with your in-game Minecraft name, and then you'll be added to the whitelist and then you can get on. So the server is running on 1.81, so make sure you're using that version or else you won't be able to get on, obviously. And yeah, so the purpose of this is to open it up for testing and see if we need more player slots, and also to see how the lag situation works out. So that's more or less the deal. And what else? Oh yeah, so keep in mind the map will be wiped when we transition to the 1.9 or 1.0, whatever it's going to be. The next official update, the map will be wiped, and then I will place the final version of the map on the server at that time, probably late November. And what do I mean by final? I mean that'll be the point when I transition from working on the city in single player to working on in multiplayer. So anything you build between now and probably late November will be wiped off. So just be cognizant of that. Don't build anything really awesome. So it's really just designed for testing and for building random shit, and basically we're probably going to use it for ideas for the city. If someone has an idea, they can come on and build it and say, hey, what do you think of this? You know, so it would simplify that process quite a bit, and I could show you guys ideas that I have that I may not have time to do in a video. Okay, so that's more or less it. Send me a message with your in-game name, and if you can, throw in the message what you'd like to be doing on the server, like if you want to help me out or just play, or if you have any ideas, that kind of stuff, so I know, you know, what's up. Okay, so that's the server details, and yeah, oh, it's located in New York, by the way, FYI. Okay, so that's enough about the server for now. Any more questions, just send me a message. Now, I've been working on the breeding system, and it's working pretty well. It's I modified it slightly, and I think for the most efficiency I would have to make these rails 2 blocks apart, but I'm not going to do that because I want it to be very compact. So, but just FYI, if you wanted to make this on your own and you had a lot of room, I would do them 2 blocks apart. Anyway, so what are the modifications I made to this? Well, as you can see, I put levers on the blocks next to the power rails to power them, and I did that all the way down. So why did I do that? Well, I used to have redstone torches underneath the blocks, and that only let me make the drop, I think it was going to be 4 at minimum. So basically I had redstone torches here powering this and powering that, so the minimum drop I could have down here was going to be 4 blocks, and the animals would not jump off. Basically they had to be pushed off by the minecarts, and that took a while. It wasn't very efficient, so I changed the drop to 3 blocks, and now they walk off on their own most of the time. So yep, that's the big change that I made. Also, I've noticed that the babies can seem to walk across this gap and get to the next rail. That's why I said make it too wide if you were going to have a large area to deal with, but since we're doing it inside, underground, this is just fine. They'll eventually fall off, and they have to grow up to be adults anyway, so I can you know, they can have a minute or 2 to walk around. Okay, so as you can see, it works pretty well. This is our holding area, and then over here would be like the drowning trap that I'm going to set up for them. So that'll work very nice, and then I'll have I'll probably have a water stream pushing them to this side, so they're just going to get pushed to this side and they'll get stuck over here. And when I want to kill them, I'll open up the trap with pistons and they'll fall in. I think that's what I'm going to do. My neighbor's kids won't shut the fuck up. Anyway, that's what I've done with the breeding system. It does work quite well. I'm pretty happy with this. And I don't think I'm going to have to make any major changes to this. So I can go ahead and put it in the city. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go and work on it in the farming hall. Oh yeah, and before I forget, shout out to 32echo23 for making me a new background for my channel, because I am graphically challenged when it comes to doing anything that with art or anything that looks good. So thank you very much for making that. Now I look actually legit, not like to some random channel. Alright, and you guys check out his channel if you want, and I'll put a link in the description. Okay, so let's move on. Alright, so I've hollowed this out a little bit more, and we're going to get started on the breeding system. So we're going to build it from the ground up. So the bottom floor will be the processing plant, so to speak. It'll include the drowning trap by which the mobs will die, and the loot collector. And then like one sub-level above that will be the holding pen, and then above that will be the actual minecart tracks. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this, so I'm just going to start doing it. And if I have any problems later, I'll just fix it. So I made a whole shitload of glass, and we're going to make it out of sandstone as well. The upper level, that is. Or I could make the whole thing out of glass, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll add sandstone as like accentation. Is that a word? Accentation? Whatever. So let's get started. I'm just going to make it this big so far. Is that enough room? Let's move it back. So I can have the loot collector right here. That's good enough. I can always move it later. Alright, so it's going to be this big to start, and then I'll knock out the wall more if I need to. I do not have a pick, but that's okay. I'm not actually going to be doing any digging, I don't think. Alright, so. Alright, voiceover time, yay! Okay, I decided it didn't have to be that long. We're only going to make this 2 wide because this is the loot collector and the drowning trap all together. The bottom 2 levels will be the loot collector, and the drowning trap will be above the next 4 layers of this. I think that'll be sufficient to kill them, and it should work out quite nicely. I made it 2 wide to facilitate them falling in a little bit easier, like I just did. If you make it 1 wide, they might have a little bit of trouble falling in, because they might get sort of turned around and stuck, but I don't think it'd be a big deal either way. I might as well make it 2 wide. You never know. Alright. That's going to complicate the pistons a little bit, but I can deal with that later, no problem. Now, yeah, so I'm going to make this, the bottom 2 layers will be the loot collector, in case I need to scale it up sideways. And the top 4 will be the drowning trap. I think I already just repeated myself. But that should be 6 tall now. And I'm going to begin working on extending this backwards. This is the beginning of the holding tank right here. This is where the animals fall down from the minecart tracks and get stuck in. And now there will be water pushing them. As you can see, I'm building out right here. This is the holding tank. Now the water will come from behind me and push them towards this gap, which will be closed off by pistons. So until I'm ready to kill them, they will sit in the holding tank. Okay. I also probably should have a way to shut off the water for this level, so I could walk in here and kill them with a sword a little bit more easily if I choose to do that. So that will be an option as well. And this holding tank will be 3 blocks below the tracks, so they should all fit nicely. And yeah, so that's about it for this part. Let's move back to live action. Alright, so this is how it looks from the outside. And I think we should give a special prize to the first person that kills himself by accident with these. I can't wait. Okay, so this is how it looks from the outside. You're going to walk in here and there's going to be like 4 or 5 more glass levels above what it is right now. So the farm will be in the foreground dominating the room, and then in the back you'll see the animals in minecarts bouncing back and forth, and you'll be able to see some of them dying and falling in the trap, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it looks really good, actually. Surprised it actually looks this good. In my head, at least. Alright, so the loot collector channel will be right around here. I've made this too tall in order to facilitate, in case I want to extend this sideways, I can put the water stream on a different level, so I don't have to like dig way down to the floor for the loot collector. So that's why that's doing that. Let's get up there now. Have any dirt? Yes, I have dirt. Okay. So here's the holding tank floor. This is where they're going to get stuck. They'll probably be pushed against either a wall here, or I'll just close this gap off with pistons. I'm not quite sure. I'll figure out whatever's easiest to do. And I'll figure it out later. But that's how this is going to work. Oh, you know what? I could just find a way to shut off the water flow, couldn't I? I don't know. I'll figure it out later. Okay, so we're going to build the actual area for the minecart rails now. It's going to be 3 blocks above this thing here. So am I 3 blocks up? Or am I only 1 block up? No, I'm 2 blocks up. Okay. So the 1, 2, 3, so it's have to go 1 above that. Okay. Alright, so the rails will be actually here. So the first rail should be right like that. Can I put rails on glass? I don't think I can, so I'm going to use sandstone. Shit, I put my sandstone away. Alright, hold on. Alright, so the rails are going to be floating above the tank like this. And knock this out real quick. Okay. We're going to have the walls like this should be a part of the wall here, and this should be part of the wall there. Okay, so that's 1 rail, just like we had in the other system in the creative mode. Alright, and then we're going to have the next rail 1 block away, like this, and so on and so forth, down the line. And the rails, power rail, normal rail, power rail, and then levers attached to the sides of these blocks. Of course, this won't be here. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. Now, yeah, so this will be expandable in this direction. So I'm going to make the tank bigger, and I'll have to raise the level of the tank as we go back, so it would be like ascending. That would look kind of cool, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the last one before I have to raise it. Alright. So looks like in each of these sections so far, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I can get away with 4 or 5 of these rails in each section. I don't think this is properly aligned in terms of how wide it's supposed to be. I probably should have counted before I did this. That's okay. I'll just fix it as I go along. So yeah, that's how that's gonna work. And I'm wondering if I could stack rails on top of rails. That would be interesting. It wouldn't really work though. Unless I made the animals purposely drop onto the rails below them, then get pushed off those rails, etc., etc., until they fall down. I think that might work, actually. They might, on their own, decide to jump down and then get pushed down, etc. I think that'll actually work, but for now we're going to extend it horizontally instead of vertically, just for simplicity's sake and to get to define how big this is going to be eventually. Okay, so I'm mostly going to extend it that way, because this hall is not too wide. Alright, so I'm going to build the rest of this in fast motion. Alright, time to finish the tracks. So I ended up having 5 of them total in this section, and then we're going to have 5 of them behind this in that direction towards the back wall there. And so that'll give me a total of 10 to begin with. I think that'll be nice. And I'm going to have a separate farm for chickens because I want eggs, and eggs really don't work too well with this setup. So maybe I'll put 1 row of chickens in there just in case I want to breed a whole bunch of chickens for some reason. So I'm going to have mostly cows, because cows produce food, beef, and they produce leather armor. So those are the most useful passive mob. So I'm going to have a whole bunch of cows, probably at least, I want to say at least 6 rows of cows out of those 10. And then probably 2 rows of sheep for wool, or maybe 5 rows of cows, 3 rows of sheep, and then 1 chicken, 1 pig row, something like that. That sounds good. So, because the most useful things out of all these mobs are the food, which I need, which is taken care of with beef basically, the armor, which is taken care of with the cow leather, and the wool, which I'm going to use for decoration stuff. So I'm going to need at least 2 rows of sheep, probably more, I don't know. So it's me mostly sheep and cows, put it that way. Because pigs, not all that useful. I mean, they drop pork, great, but I can use beef for the exact same thing. And chickens, meh. The only good thing they do is eggs, really. So I'll have a separate egg farm for that, which I've come up with recently, actually. So yeah, that's more or less what I'm going to do here. And now I'm filling in the front of it. This is the wall, basically, to prevent them from getting out, and also to make it look good. So yeah, that's more or less what I've done so far with this. Alright, this is how it looks from the outside. I'll get rid of those annoying, ugly dirt blocks eventually. So you're going to walk in like here, and you'll have the whole thing in front of you like this. It looks pretty good. And then to get up there, you'll climb this ladder, and there will be a door here that will allow me access. And then I will walk across the back here on like an elevated platform and spam wheat on them. They make babies, and the babies fall down into the holding pen right down here. Alright, and I think I made this I think I made a 4-block drop by accident, so I might have to add 1 more block down here, but that's okay. I don't do much planning out when I actually start building stuff. I tend to fix problems as they appear. Maybe it's not the best solution, but I can't be fucking bothered to do like a diagram or a schematic or anything like that, or even think about it too hard. So, but this is working out alright so far. Now, I think I will have... I'm not quite sure how to close off the trap, though, when I don't want them to die. Oh, you know what? I could have pistons here. No, that wouldn't work. Damn it. I thought I had a good idea there for a second. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to turn this trap off. Oh, no, I can have... No, I think the lever would interfere with the... Yeah, the lever would interfere with the piston. Okay, never mind. So I need to figure out a way to... for them to fall in here and then not fall into the trap, and only have them fall into the trap when I want them to die. So what I could do, I could have pistons on that side, and they could double extend. They could extend twice. That's what I'm saying. Or I could just make this 1 wide. That'd be a lot easier. I don't know. I do not know. Or I could just put pistons on 1 piston on that side, 1 piston on this side, then close it like that. But then they would fall into the gap between the piston. No. And I'll figure it out. Tell me if you have any ideas. I might end up just making this trap 1 wide instead. That'd solve a lot of problems. So yeah, what's going to happen, the babies fall down here, water pushes them over here, and they just sit here until they go to adults, and then when they're adults, I hit a button, they fall into the trap, and they drown, and I pick up their loot. And if, say I don't want to do that, say I want to come down to the holding pen and, I don't know, shear them if they're sheep, or kill them with a sword, or even breed them some more, I could do that. I'll have a secondary access door down here somewhere, and this whole system will be extended in that direction. We'll have 5 more rails like right around here, and a second level here for the water and whatnot, so that'll work quite nicely. I think this whole thing's coming together. I'm pretty happy with what I see so far. I just need to figure out a way to get back to the ladder, but yeah, pretty happy with this. Now I think it's all the work I'm going to do on this for now, so let's move on. And that's the Death Star setting. I have a custom moon and sun thing I found on Reddit. Pretty cool. Anyway, so I haven't done any work on the entrance. I was thinking about it last night. What I was thinking of, a couple of people suggested a whole bunch of stuff. They suggested, you know, making like have lava come down and then pistons push lava out if you press a button and you can go through. That's really not going to work because lava is a pain in the ass and it doesn't dissipate quickly enough. Someone said a drawbridge, and I have no idea how to make a practical drawbridge. I don't think it would work at all. There's no way really to bring it up or bring it down with hidden wiring. So what I decided to do was make a telescoping bridge, or a telescoping bridge. What does that mean? Like, so you would have, this would just be empty air, and then you press a button, the bridge actually would come out of the wall and come towards you and then, you know, arrive, which would be really awesome, except I don't know how to do it with a 4-block wide bridge. I could do it with a 2-block wide, but not 4. You can do it with 4, but it would be a massive undertaking and stupid amounts of wiring, so I'm not doing that. So yeah, that idea is kind of out. So I don't know what to do with this, really. I really want to make some sort of automated bridge that the criteria for this you will not be able to go in until you hit something, and that will let you pass through. You know, maybe I could make the mouth itself a door, you know, like a piston door, and then you press a lever and it opens. The problem is it's very wide and it'd be very difficult to handle that with pistons. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I would really like to make maybe a portcullis for the mouth and then have that go up, but again, same problem with the pistons. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this. So someone give me some ideas here. Whoa, what the hell was that lag about? So yeah, give me some ideas for what to do with this, because I'm at a loss for what I could really do with this and make it look cool in terms of an entrance, a bridge, you know, some sort of redstone project. I'll keep thinking about it, but hopefully you guys can come up with something better than I've come up with. Okay, so plans for this entrance, we're going to make the mouth and face bigger, and yeah, so it would look better. May or may not make the bridge bigger depending on what I decide to do with the redstone. But this bridge will be extended out this way, probably to where those trees are, and I'll dig the lava lake as well. I'll dig it out to that point. And of course this will be widened into this mountain, into that mountain. It can only go so far because it eventually will hit the mob trap, so I'll probably have a cushion of about 15 blocks on that side, so I'll probably go out another 15 blocks on that side, but I will knock down most of this mountain here to the right and to the left, at least on the sides that are facing us right here. Okay, those are the plans for the entrance. Now I had a really cool idea the other day. I was thinking not only can we have the city down here, down there, but we could have an above ground city. Not really a city, but more of a small outpost town kind of thing. I don't think I want to put it in this valley. I'm not sure, because I don't really want to spoil the view of the city entrance here. I was thinking I could put it on the opposite side, though. You know, where all that wiring and stuff is for the lighting, which I actually can't even get to now because of I knocked out the pathway to it. That kind of sucks. So let me go over there and show you. So this is the back of the face in case you wanted to ever see it. It's just netherrack that's burning, and the entrance is right below us here. And here's the lighting system, which you've seen before. It's the pistons that control the on and off switch. So I was thinking we could have an above ground city of some kind, or a town. It's called a village because it has to be small. So an above ground village of a couple of houses, and it could go like over here. Or maybe I could build it directly on top of the mountain or into the mountain itself. That would look kind of cool, I think. So I'm not sure, but I want to have some sort of above ground city or village. I'd call it a village, just for sort of like an outpost, somewhere to store stuff. Some people could live there if they want, that kind of thing. I think it would look good, and I really want to build some. I want to build like Tudor houses, if you know what I mean. You can go to Google search images and type in Tudor house and sort of see the kind of house that I want to build up here. So it looks really cool. And I haven't built an above ground house in a long time, actually. So I'm going to build it somewhere around here, maybe into the mountain, but not sure. And not sure what the purpose would be other than the fact that I want to build it. So give me your ideas for that as well. And I think that's going to wrap up this episode. Did a lot of work on the breeding system, and next episode we'll work on that again. But beyond that, I don't know. We might work on something totally different as well. Who can say? I never planned this shit out. Alright, so this has been drakhl, and I will see you guys next time. And peace out.